Billions of blank planchettes striking under massive industrial dies, creating an endless avalanche of shiny metal. While most people see nothing but loose change, professional treasure hunters know that a literal fortune could be sitting in your pockets right now. And this ultimate Jefferson Nickel marathon is about to prove it to you. Kicking off our list is a coin that perfectly unveils the ultimate secret of high-end numismatics. What you are looking at is a 1979 Jefferson Nickel, struck at the Denver Mint. This specimen has been certified by PCGS in a monumental mint state 66 plus grade, carrying the highly elusive Full Steps designation. To the untrained eye, this looks like a regular pocket coin. So why are advanced collectors willing to pay thousands for it? It all comes down to the grade. The official certification of a coin's condition judged on a brutal 70-point scale. The MS Mint State designation means the coin never entered circulation. A casual observer looking at an MS65 and an MS66 coin will see the exact same shiny metal. But professionals look under laboratory magnification for the exact historical context of 1979. Back then, the US Mint prioritized massive production quotas over quality. Dies were run completely into the ground, causing the fine details on the reverse to come out mushy and weak. Finding a specimen where the 5 horizontal steps at the base of Monticello are perfectly separated, sharp, and entirely uninterrupted is a monumental task. That is what secures the prestigious Full Steps title. There are fewer than 100 known examples in existence grading MS66 Full Steps, making it significantly scarcer than most legendary nickels from the 1930s. Remarkably, there are absolutely zero specimens graded MS67 or higher at PCGS. Our coin features the Elite Plus designation for exceptional eye appeal and original satin mint luster, sitting at the absolute apex of survival. If you want to master the art of coin grading and learn how to spot these high-end MS conditions yourself, I've left a link to my step-by-step grading tutorial in the description below. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $2,943. At a recent high-end auction, a fierce registry bidding frenzy erupted, and the hammer dropped on this modern phantom for a staggering $5,800. Our next coin takes us straight into the heart of World War II, featuring one of the most iconic subsets in American numismatics. What you are looking at is a legendary 1944 Jefferson Wartime Nickel struck at the Denver Mint. This spectacular survivor has been certified by the elite at PCGS in an astronomical mint state 68 condition, complete with the highly coveted Full Steps designation. To put this into historical perspective, due to the critical wartime shortage of nickel for military production, the US Mint altered the composition, striking these coins in a unique 35% silver alloy. Now, while Full Steps examples for the 1944D issue are relatively plentiful up to the MS67 grade, crossing that razor-thin threshold into a mind-blowing MS68 transforms this coin into an absolute numismatic ghost. Just look at the breathtaking eye appeal of this stellar example. It displays a booming, pristine, mint luster across flawless surfaces, a true miracle for a softer wartime silver composition that was heavily circulated. What truly sets this registry masterpiece apart is its beautiful, iridescent rainbow toning that softly graces the fields, flashing vibrant hues under the light. Combined with a razor-sharp strike on Monticello's reverse steps, it represents the absolute pinnacle of minting perfection. Forget the outdated historical price of $4,800 from old records. In today's aggressive registry market, where billionaire investors stop at nothing to secure the finest certified wartime history, this iridescent supergem triggered an intense bidding war, with the hammer dropping at a staggering $7,800. And finally, we have reached the grand finale of our marathon, featuring a true condition monster that will completely blow your mind. What you are looking at is a 1960 Jefferson Nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This unbelievable specimen has been certified by the elite at PCGS in a spectacular mint state 66 grade, carrying the mythical Full Steps designation. To the untrained eye, this looks like just another old nickel from the 1960s. But according to the experts at Heritage Auctions, the 1960 Philadelphia issue is notoriously recognized as one of the single most difficult coins to locate with full strike details in the entire modern era. In 1960, quality control at the mint was at an all-time low. The coining dies were run into complete mush, causing almost the entire production to leave the mint with flat, incredibly weak reverses. Finding a 1960 specimen where the steps at the base of Monticello are sharply defined and fully separated is a near impossible miracle. Let this mind-boggling stat sink in. In the entire history of PCGS, across all grades combined, fewer than 50 coins have ever secured the Full Steps title for this year. This makes this modern nickel significantly scarcer than the vast majority of 19th century silver rarities. Our showcase piece today is an absolute masterpiece of survival. A delicate hint of original champagne color beautifully warms the flawless satiny surfaces, completely free of any bothersome abrasions or bag marks. The reverse steps are appreciably well struck, defying all historical odds for this troubled issue. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $5,040. In today's hyper-aggressive market, where advanced registry collectors are desperately fighting over the final remaining full steps ghosts of the 1960s, the bidding war for this satin trophy shattered expectations, with the hammer dropping at a staggering $9,200. It's time to dig through your old coin jars immediately. Now, brace yourselves, because we are moving on to a coin that perfectly demonstrates how a microscopic mint mistake can translate into a massive fortune. What you are looking at is an absolute holy grail, 1940 Jefferson Nickel struck in a magnificent proof format. But this is no ordinary proof. This is the legendary and ultra-rare reverse of 1938 Transitional variety. Certified at the elite superb gem level, it sits at the absolute pinnacle of rarity. So, what is this incredible secret that drives collectors crazy? In 1940, the U.S. Mint officially updated the reverse design to feature straight, sharply defined steps on Monticello. However, a few proof coins were accidentally struck using the old, obsolete 1938 hub, which is identified by its distinctly wavy, mushy steps. Here is the ultimate numismatic paradox. While mushy steps are usually avoided on regular coins, in the elite proof format, the reverse of 1938 variety is by far the rarest of the two, making it an absolute ghost in high grades. Just gaze at the breathtaking eye appeal of this museum-quality masterpiece. A delicate original lavender and butterscotch toning paints a stunning pastel blanket across the deeply mirrored fields and sharp satiny devices. Under intense laboratory magnification, absolutely no imperfections are seen. Advanced registry collectors look for this exact combination of a major transitional variety and intense, beautiful original toning, a combination that is virtually impossible to replicate. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $11,700 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where billionaire investors stop at nothing to capture elite transitional proof trophies, the bidding war for this pastel gem triggered an absolute feeding frenzy, hammering down for a staggering $19,500. Prepare yourselves, because we are looking at a coin that is officially recognized as the absolute gold standard of beauty in the United States. What you see is the legendary 1942 Wartime Silver Jefferson Nickel, Type 2 variety, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This breathtaking survivor is graded in an astronomical PR68 plus by PCGS and later verified for premium quality by the elite green CAC sticker. But this specific piece is not just another high-grade coin. According to Heritage Auctions, this exact specimen serves as the official PCGS CoinFax plate coin for the entire issue. That means when dealers and advanced collectors worldwide want to see what a flawless 1942 silver-proof nickel looks like, they open the official database and look at the image of this exact coin. It is literally the cover model for its entire year. The eye appeal here is downright intoxicating. It features a jaw-dropping rainbow toning, showcasing neon shades of emerald green, electric blue, hot pink, and molten gold wrapping around minimally toned centers. Both sides are utterly pristine and completely flawless. As expected of a museum-quality proof coin at this elite level, the unique wartime silver alloy, combined with 8 decades of perfect preservation, allowed nature to paint a literal masterpiece on this metal canvas. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $12,600 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where owning an official PCGS plate coin, verified by CAC, is the ultimate status symbol for billionaire registry investors. This neon trophy triggered a massive bidding war, hammering down for a staggering $24,000. If you thought the previous coins were jaw-dropping, prepare yourselves for the ultimate heavy hitter of our entire countdown. What you are looking at is a monumental 1939 proof Jefferson Nickel. But this isn't just any vintage proof. This is the definitive holy grail of transitional varieties. The incredibly scarce 1939 issue featuring the updated reverse of 1940, fully verified for premium quality by the elite green CAC sticker. Let's break down the high-stakes mint mystery that drives billionaire collectors into a bidding frenzy. The vast majority of all proof Jefferson Nickels struck in 1939 feature the old reverse of 1938 style, known for its mushy, poorly detailed steps on Monticello. The variant represented here is an absolute anomaly. The mint experimentally utilized the incoming 1940 die, presenting straight, sharply defined individual steps. Finding this major transitional variety in a high-grade proof format, let alone with a CAC endorsement, is an absolute miracle. Just gaze at the spectacular, intoxicating eye appeal of this museum treasure. The deeply mirrored fields exhibit a stunning, liquid-like reflectivity that beautifully complements the razor-sharp details throughout the central devices. But the true hallmark of this historic piece is the magnificent, multicolor rainbow toning that elegantly graces each side of the coin. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $15,600 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where verified elite transitional proof trophies are heavily contested by advanced registry investors, this multicolored masterpiece triggered an absolute feeding frenzy, with the hammer dropping at a staggering $27,000. Just when you thought the auction room couldn't get any hotter, this next coin steps up to completely redefine condition rarity. What you are looking at is an absolute phantom of the 1950s and 1951 Jefferson Nickel. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this museum-grade masterpiece has been certified in an astronomical, near-flawless mint state, 67 grade, complete with the highly elusive and challenging Full Steps designation. Let's break down the incredible scarcity that drives elite collectors into an absolute frenzy. In 1951, the U.S. Mint focused heavily on massive production quotas, leading to incredibly weak and mushy reverse details. Finding a specimen from this specific year where the horizontal steps at the base of Monticello are perfectly separated, sharp, and entirely uninterrupted is a monumental task. At the MS67 Full Steps bracket, this coin instantly transforms into an elite registry prize. Just gaze at the breathtaking eye appeal of this stellar survivor. The design elements exhibit pinpoint definition throughout, and the flawlessly preserved surfaces are brightly lustrous, with absolutely no mentionable signs of contact or bag marks. What truly elevates this registry gem into a league of its own is the attractive original iridescent toning, showcasing gorgeous shades of frosty ice blue and elegant champagne gold warming the fields. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $16,450 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where billionaire registry set collectors stop at nothing to capture single highest-graded survival pieces, this multi-tone super gem ignited a fierce bidding war, with the hammer dropping at a staggering $29,000. And now, we have finally arrived at the absolute pinnacle of our countdown, the undisputed king of our entire marathon. This is the coin that makes advanced professional dealers hold their breath in pure disbelief. What you are looking at is the legendary 1954 SMS Jefferson Nickel, struck at the San Francisco Mint, showcasing the near-mythical Full Steps designation. Anyone who truly knows this series understands that the 1954S issue is the ultimate definitive stopper date of the entire Jefferson Nickel run. Just like the 54D, finding a San Francisco specimen from this year with a genuine full strike is a near impossible task. Quality control was practically non-existent as the facility prepared to shut down coining operations, leaving almost the entire mintage with completely mushy, flat reverses. Just gaze at the breathtaking, intoxicating eye appeal of this museum-quality masterpiece. Highly lustrous, booming surfaces beautifully highlight an exquisite, pastel blanket of peach, lilac, and golden iridescent rainbow toning. The central devices are crisply and fully rendered by an exacting, devastatingly powerful blow from the dies, defying all historical odds for this troubled issue. Both sides are entirely pristine. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $35,250 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where billionaire registry set collectors view this specific coin as the ultimate holy grail to complete their lifetime sets, this lustrous pastel trophy triggered an absolute feeding frenzy at heritage auctions, with the hammer dropping at a staggering, record-breaking $55,000. Just when you thought you'd seen all the rarest treasures, this next coin steps up to show just how brutal the modern conditional rarity market can be. What you are looking at is an absolute nightmare for registry collectors. In 1961 Jefferson Nickel struck at the Philadelphia Mint, showcasing the incredibly elusive Full Steps designation. Specialists in this modern series know all too well the historical context of this troubled era. During the early to mid-1960s, the Philadelphia Mint paid little to no attention to quality control. They were heavily focused on churning out massive, high-mintage circulation strikes to meet commercial demand. Coining dies were run completely into the ground, resulting in incredibly weak, flat, and mushy reverse details. The devastating consequence for the 1961 issue is that genuine Full Steps examples are legendary rarities even in the lowest possible mint state brackets. To find a specimen where the fine lines at the base of Monticello survive this careless production is a near impossible miracle. It is an absolute ghost in the numismatic community. With only a small handful of specimens ever certified by major grading services, forget the outdated historical auction records of $10,800 from old files. In today's highly aggressive market, where elite registry set collectors stop at nothing to capture these missing links of the 1960s, this phenomenal full-strike masterpiece triggered an intense bidding war, with the hammer dropping at a spectacular $17,500. It's time to check your 1961 nickels under a proper lens immediately. Prepare yourselves, because this next coin completely shatters the laws of minting geometry and logic. What you are looking at is one of the most explosive, historically significant mint errors in United States history, 1943's Jefferson Nickel, struck at the San Francisco Mint. But its true value doesn't come from a condition grade. This nickel was accidentally struck on a steel planchet intended for a 1943 Lincoln cent. This is a mind-blowing, high-stakes wartime hybrid. Aside from a tiny handful of errors, steel cents were only struck in 1943 due to the critical copper shortage for World War II military production. Somehow, a small steel cent planchet found its way into the nickel coining press in San Francisco. When the massive nickel dies slammed down, they completely warped and expanded the smaller steel disc, creating a full rim at 9 o'clock, while the right side legends are partly forced off the flan. The 1943 date exhibits intense metal flow toward the edge, which is the textbook hallmark of a wrong planchet error. Remarkably, this silver-gray premium gem survived in pristine condition, showcasing a brilliant, coruscating steel luster and incredible detail on Monticello's steps. Since the era-collecting hobby did not even exist in the 1940s, no such pieces were saved on purpose. This masterpiece survived entirely by chance. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $14,950 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where billionaire investors stop at nothing to own elite, iconic 1943 wartime steel errors, this spectacular historical artifact triggered an absolute feeding frenzy, with the hammer dropping at a staggering $34,000. If you thought our wartime steel era was the peak of minting madness, brace yourselves. What you are looking at right now is a coin that defies the very blueprint of the United States Mint. This is an ultra-valuable 2000 PO Jefferson Nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but it is an absolute numismatic freak of nature because it was struck by two obverse dies. This coin literally has two heads and zero reverses. How on earth does this happen? Due to an unbelievable mechanical error or human mistake at the facility. Two identical obverse dies were installed into the coining press at the same time. The result is this intriguing, dual-headed phantom, with both obverses rotated approximately 225 degrees from each other. Because two obverse dies are improperly spaced to handle a standard planchet, the strike came out characteristically weak. However, despite the weak strike, the coin exhibits a perfectly readable 2000 date, the P mint mark, and a clear partial outline of Thomas Jefferson's bust on both sides. The unstruck areas beautifully retain the original, dimpled texture of the planchet. The surfaces are brilliantly lustrous, completely satiny, and show virtually no post-strike contact marks. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $20,520 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where unique two-headed error trophies are heavily contested by billionaire registry investors, this mind-blowing modern marvel triggered an absolute feeding frenzy, with the hammer dropping at a staggering $40,000. Prepare yourselves for the most enigmatic and deeply mysterious coin in our entire countdown. What you are looking at is a legendary 1964 Jefferson Nickel from the highly elusive special mint set known to insiders as the 1964 SMS Nickel. This historic phantom has been certified by the pioneers at PCGS in an astronomical SP68 grade, carrying the prestigious Full Steps designation. Why does this specific coin trigger an absolute frenzy in the numismatic community? Officially, the U.S. Mint didn't start producing SMS sets until 1965. The very existence of these 1964 strikes, featuring a distinctly sharp, satiny, and matte-like finish, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in U.S. coinage. PCGS experts hold several theories. These coins could have been produced as secret prototypes for the upcoming 1965, 1967 sets, or as introductory pieces meant to accompany the mythical, unreleased 1964 D-piece silver dollar. Furthermore, it is widely believed that these SMS coins came into existence through the direct, private involvement of Eva Adams, the U.S. Mint director at the time. While 1964 SMS coins are extraordinarily scarce, the most exciting part is that experts believe more undiscovered examples are still sitting out there, unrecognized in old accumulations. Our specimen today is an absolute marvel of survival, displaying pinpoint design, definition, flawless satiny surfaces, and an unbelievably sharp, full strike on Monticello steps. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $26,437 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where owning a verified 1964 SMS trophy is the ultimate status symbol for billionaire registry set investors, this matte masterpiece triggered an absolute bidding war at heritage auctions, hammering down for a staggering $44,000. Prepare yourselves to look at an absolute crown jewel of American coin collecting. What you are looking at is a first year of issue 1938D Jefferson Nickel, struck at the Denver Mint. But this isn't just any historic first-year piece. This spectacular survivor has been certified by the elite at PCGS in an astronomical, mind-blowing mint state 68 plus grade, carrying the highly strict Full Steps designation. Now, let this staggering numismatic fact sink in. This is the single finest certified specimen in existence. It stands as the sole plus-graded MS68 Full Steps coin in the entire PCGS global database. There is absolutely nothing graded higher. It is the undisputed, short population king of its year. While locating a 1938D issue with sharp, fully separated reverse steps is incredibly difficult, finer than MS6, and downright rare at the MS68 level, our plus-designated masterpiece sits alone at the absolute apex of survival. Just gaze at the spectacular, intoxicating eye appeal of this registry titan. Flawless, highly lustrous, pristine surfaces yield a stunning, dusky amber gold toning, with beautiful iridescent wisps dancing throughout the fields under the light. Every fine line at the base of Monticello is razor-sharp and perfectly defined, defying nearly 9 decades of history. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $33,600 from old files. In today's highly aggressive market, where billionaire registry said investors will stop at nothing to capture a pop one, none finer first-year trophy to dominate the leaderboard. This amber gold phantom triggered an absolute feeding frenzy, hammering down for a breathtaking $51,000. Moving forward with our ultimate countdown, we encounter a coin that beautifully bridges wartime history with an astronomical condition. Grade. What you are looking at is a legendary 1943 Wartime Silver Jefferson Nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This phenomenal survivor has been certified by PCGS in a monumental mint state 68+ grade, complete with the highly elusive Full Steps designation. Advanced specialists know all too well the historical significance of this issue. In 1943, at the absolute height of World War II, the United States Mint altered the composition of the nickel due to a critical military shortage of the metal. These historic coins were struck in a unique wartime alloy featuring 35% pure silver, balanced with copper and manganese. However, this softer silver composition was highly susceptible to bag marks, and high-speed production lines usually left the design elements mushy. Finding a 1943 specimen that survived nearly 9 decades in near-flawless condition is a statistical miracle. The elite MS68+ grade indicates that the coin is in pristine, immaculate condition with only microscopic, trivial imperfections. But the real headline here is the Full Steps designation, meaning the horizontal lines at the base of Monticello are perfectly separated, sharp, and entirely uninterrupted. For a wartime Philadelphia strike, this represents an absolute ghost of survival. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $25,562 from old files. In today's aggressive market, where top-tier registry said investors stop at nothing to secure single highest-graded wartime silver trophies, this lustrous masterpiece triggered a fierce bidding war, hammering down for a staggering $41,000. As we edge closer to the ultimate finale, the stakes in the auction room are hitting absolute melt value levels. What you are looking at is another phenomenal, museum-quality survivor from the most mysterious release in U.S. coinage, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, from the legendary Special Mint Set, or SMS. This absolute condition rarity has been certified in an astronomical, near-flawless SP68 grade. As advanced collectors know, official SMS production didn't begin until 1965, leaving the secret origin of these 1964 satin strikes a highly debated numismatic mystery. But this specific trophy is an absolute visual masterpiece. It's intensely satiny, silky smooth surfaces are entirely pristine and elegantly draped in a gorgeous original blanket of light, champagne gold toning, fully struck by an exacting blow from the dies. Every central detail is rendered with breathtaking sharpness. It represents a rare and incredibly important find for top-tier registry set investors. Elite collectors view this coin as an essential holy grail to dominate the leaderboard. And since experts believe a few more undetected 1964 SMS sets are still waiting to be attributed in old hoards, the hunt is aggressively on. Forget the outdated historical auction records of $31,200 from old files. In today's hyper-competitive market, where historical SMS phantoms are heavily contested by billionaire investors, the bidding war for this champagne gold masterpiece shattered expectations at heritage auctions, hammering down for a staggering $49,000. And there you have IT proof that ordinary pocket change can turn into a massive fortune if you know exactly what to look for. Right now, it's time to go empty your coin jars because you might be sitting on thousands of dollars without even knowing it. If you enjoyed this ultimate nickel marathon, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our deep dives into the rarest US coin treasures. And hey, if you want to buy, sell, or trade your coins securely right from your phone, make sure to click the link in the description below and check out our coin app and platform. Happy treasure hunting, my friends, and see you in the next video.